Hey guys, ForTheAfro Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing chapter 904 and 905 of One Piece. I'll be breezing right through 904 because honestly it's a pretty straightforward chapter, and I do have a whole another one to cover, and I hate doing these double reviews, but I gotta cover all the content. So yeah, I'm in my aunt's house right now if you're wondering why I'm not in my normal setup. Yeah, the yellow walls and whatnot. Next week I should be back in my normal place, and everything should be back on schedule next week. I've been gone for a while, went on vacation, and then I'm starting a new job and whatnot. So it's been kind of hectic as always. Well, I feel like my life's just always hectic, but yeah, moving forward should be consistent uploads. So yeah, look forward to that, and let's get into it. Okay, so to breeze through 904 starts off with Orlumbus's color page where he's resigning to his king, and his king looks pissed off, and it's pretty much it. He's resigning because he wants to be really honorable. He's like, I'm a pirate now, can't be your guy, so putting in his resignation. That's good. This chapter starts off in the Kamabaka Kingdom. I said that right? Yeah, Kamabaka Kingdom, and Ivankov's Island, new base of the revolutionaries, which is pretty cool. You know, they needed somewhere else to go. They're all talking about, just their operation and whatnot, and we're waiting for the other leaders of the revolutionaries to get there. And Sabo is out lying in the grass. I'm like, Ivankov goes, Sabo, what are you doing? And Koala tells him that he's so happy about the news of Luffy that he's been laying there with this big goofy grin on his face for so long that like his face hurts. God. Good old brotherly love. Sabo gets a call from someone named Lindbergh, who we learn more about later in the chapter, and he's saying like, "Hey, we're gonna be a little late. We ran into some shit." And he's like, "Are you? As long as you guys are like not in danger, it's cool, whatever." And he hangs up, and Dragon's like, "All right, let's finalize our plans." And Sabo's like, "Oh yeah, declare war on the Celestial Dragons." So much hype, so much hype. I gotta keep going though. We cut to the Lulusia Kingdom, which is the same kingdom of the princess that Kobe just saved in, I think it was the last chapter. Yeah, the last chapter. So that's cool. Like I like when that kind of stuff ties in and whatnot. We got this pirate, Peachbeard. He has a bounty of 52 million as a captain. So basically, if you're a captain with that low of a bounty, at this point, you're fodder. You're totally fodder. So not very threatening, but obviously to the townspeople, he's a big threat. So he's like raiding them and stuff, and he has flying under the flag of Blackbeard. So Blackbeard's like just lets pretty much probably anyone into his crew just like to cause havoc. So these pirates are just wrecking shit. Like they got people on the ground, people are bloody, they got swords out. They're just attacking everyone. And this girl, she's like, we don't have anything to give you. All we have is what we give to the Celestial Dragon so that they don't fuck us up. Like, we have nothing else. We are a poor town. And that was a dumb thing to say, because now they know you have money. You just have to give to the Celestial Dragons, and they don't care about that. So, yeah, that was a little dumb. But something I loved that just offset that completely. This character, this girl, is someone we've seen before. This is a character from a cover story that Ace was in. Ace was with this girl, and she had milk or whatever, and she like saved him from a river, and then he ended up like going to this Navy base. All this stuff happened, and at the end, he suggests like, "Hey, you should go to this girl for your milk for your coffee." And then they all had milk in their coffee at meetings, and it was really good milk because this girl has the best milk. And I love that Oda takes this opportunity where it could just be some rando character, just some nobody, but no, he's like, I'm gonna make sure this is a character that I've established before, and just give him this little bit, and he doesn't even mention it. Like no one, like it's not like pointed out like, hey, check out what I did. Like no, it's just it was just like, oh, let's use this character, and threw him in there, which I love. Anyway, Peachbeard slaps the shit out of her, which is not cool. Don't hate women, but slaps the shit out of her, and she goes flying into this other woman's boobs. Turns out to be a revolutionary who just has an open shirt and her tits always exposed, also with a tie, which that's a look that should catch on. Before we learn about her, we actually see this giant like tunneling type thing in the ground, and this giant, literal giant, just pops out of the ground with a harpoon. It looks like a mechanical harpoon of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it looks like a gadget. And he pops out as an Okama giant with some kind of devil fruit that makes stuff like clay. So let that sink in for a second. What? What a random character. I love it. Because we've seen giants, obviously, but they're always all Viking-like. Sorry, tongue twister. They're always all Viking-like and whatnot. This character is an Okama, but a giant. Loved it. Already would have been cool there. On top of that, he has this crazy like spear tech weapon that I'm sure Lindbergh made for him. I'll get to him in a second, but I'm sure Lindbergh made for him. So he has a cool weapon that isn't just like a really primitive axe or sword or something. So again, that's cool. That's different from every other giant we've seen. And then on top of all of that, This giant has a devil fruit. I don't think we've seen another giant with a devil fruit in the canon. In the canon, I don't think there's been any giants with a devil fruit. Hydrogen tried to get the Mera no Mi because he wanted to be like a giant with a Logi. He's like, wow, how OP would that be? He just tries to get the fruit, but obviously that didn't work out. Sabo got that, and yeah, other than that, I don't think there's even been mention of a giant even wanting a devil fruit. So this is really cool to see. I like this character a lot just from that stuff. He's talking, typical Okama stuff like, ooh, you guys are flirting with me, whatever, and he's just wrecking them. We see the other revolutionaries, like a cat mink type guy and like a bird guy. Then we get a full panel where like it like shows you like what they are, their title and whatnot. So I'll go through that real quick. We have the West Commander Morley, which I've already talked about. We have the East Commander, Bello Betty, who is the tits girl. We have the South Commander, I'm pretty sure, Lindbergh, who seems like tech-related, like probably made Morley's spear, and a mink, so that's cool also. And then we have the North Blue Commander, who is Karasu, the guy with crows, which we've actually seen his crows in use before as well. He on Dressrosa, Sabo left on like a bunch of crows. He left on a murder of crows. Love that term. And we didn't really know what the hell was going on because the crows were talking to him. We're like, what is happening? Turns out it was probably this guy Karasu, which still raises some questions because he was a bunch of crows. It wasn't just one big crow like a crow fruit. He was a whole murder of crows. So not sure how that works, but I'm super interested. We see Bello Betty waving her flag afterwards, and she's trying to inspire all these people to fight for themselves, but she's doing it by talking mad shit to them, like, you all suck, you all aren't fighting for yourselves, why would we fight for you, blah, 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 etc., etc., and it turns out she has the power of the pep fruit, or the cheer fruit, depending on what translation you read. Probably should have waited for Viz to get that, but whatever. She has a fruit that allows her to like encourage other people and it looks like she draws out their inner power too, because like this one guy was getting like super buff and I'm assuming like he had a bunch of adrenaline flowing and he was like, all these people were then inspired to fight. They're like, yeah, we can do this, and they actually fought. Lindbergh shoots off this crazy ice cannon thing that he invented. He was like excited to try out his new inventions, and like it froze the cannonballs. Like all the guns, I think in general, just of all like the pirates, so they couldn't use them. And then Karasu's crows just came and like grabbed all their swords and guns and stuff. So basically this fight's really cool because all the Revolutionary Army commanders, except for I guess Morley, who just fucked up a bunch, really just let the people fight themselves, and that's kind of what the Revolutionary Army is about. And I like that little motif there. And the person that does the final blow on Peachbeard, bounty 52 million, was Moda, the milk girl that I was talking about earlier. So that is fantastic. I love that. Like, she just took down someone worth 52 million berries, and she's a milkmaid. Kick ass. So after all this, basically Bello Betty's saying like you guys did good. Like this bounty is yours to take because you took him down. So they're about to get 52 million berries for the town, which is great. And then she gives them a card, like contact us if you want to give the Revolutionary Army. So it worked out pretty well for all of them, and then they leave to go meet with everyone else and talking about defeating the Celestial Dragons. So it's a pretty simple chapter just to showcase some of their abilities, kind of like the personalities and stuff of these commanders, because we haven't seen anything about them. Been shrouded in mystery. All we knew was Koala, Sabo, Hack, Ivankov, Inazuma, or whatever his name is, Scissor Guy. Yeah, Inazuma, I'm pretty sure, and Dragon. That was the only revolutionaries we knew beforehand, only 2 of which had official ranks. So we knew Ivankov was high up, but like, we know he didn't have an official rank that we knew of. These 4 all are in charge of a blue of the sea, like a whole blue. First shot of the chapter is showing the new Marineford base in its full glory, and its big McDonald's arches that I'm sure everyone is making jokes about. It's like a lot more secure looking than the other Marine base, but I think the fact that there's like, I don't see any like bay and the encircling wall that was on the other one. I don't think they have that here, and that's big mistake in my mind. That was a really good defense. You get the people in there, and then like they're trying to invade or whatever. You're just like, okay, raise the walls. They're trapped. Shoot them to death. Seems like a pretty effective method, but whatever. It looks really secure otherwise. Like the actual base itself looks more secure. It has cannons everywhere and whatnot, so that's cool. We also get a quick reminder that the new Marineford base is not where the old Marineford base is. It's on the other side in the New World. So now G1 is on the other side. So that's just little tidbit that's important that I feel like a lot of us that like are avid readers didn't forget, but like for a casual reader, you might have forgot that. So yeah, they're on the other side. That's important. They're in the New World because that's where all the real shit is, and Sakazuki was like, we're taking that shit head on, killing all the emperors, we're doing it. Speaking of Sakazuki, he's pissed. He's really pissed because Fujitora is at Marijoa, and Commander T-Bone, or Captain T-Bone? He's probably a commander by now, but T-Bone, which is, again, a good cameo. This, just like I was talking about last chapter, like, oh, they could have used any random Marine for this, just like a random fodder Marine. But no, he's like, no one's seen Captain T-Bone in a while. Let's throw him in there to report to Sakazuki. So Sakazuki is being reported to by T-Bone that Fujitora is there. He's pissed off, and basically the way that like Fujitora got past all the guards and stuff without wrecking shit was he was like, well, Mary Jo is in the Marine base, and you know what? He's not wrong. It's not a Marine base, but that's a super technical kind of thing to bring up, and Akainu knows this. He's like, he knows what I meant, that bastard, and he tells Green Bull to take care of him, I guess. And while he's being all annoyed and mad and stuff, we get Sengoku who pops in. I think he's eating crackers or something, and just goes like, "It's annoying being Fleet Admiral, isn't it?" It's just so great. He's just trolling Akainu. And even better, he has a little goat with him. You can see the little goat, and that made it 20 times better because I love that goddamn goat. We also figure out how it is that they get to Marijoa. They use these things called bondolas, which are gondolas with bubbles from the Sunlight Tree Eve. And it's crazy how spread out the Sunlight Tree Eve really is, because I'm assuming it goes all the way up to Marijoa, because it's all the way down at Fishman Island, and then it goes all the way over to Sabondi, which is really far away, and the bubbles pop right out of its atmosphere, like out of the atmosphere. We can see them pop, like Luffy tried to like climb them all up and stuff. They do not go as high as Marijoa, like on Sabondi. So I'm assuming that like, because it's supposed to be in like some kind of unique like atmosphere, and that's why they pop. So I'm assuming that the reason the bondolas go all the way to the top is one of two reasons. Either the atmosphere is the same because the Sunlight Tree Eve goes all the way up to Marijoa, or it's because like they use some kind of like coating mechanic with it. Like they make the bubbles, but they make them really strong. But I guess it doesn't really matter a lot in the whole grand scheme of things, does it? We see a lot of royalty show up to these bondolas, all very obvious references. There's one that's a Russian reference. He's like Russian king, and he's got like the little dolls that fold in on each other, or not fold in, like I don't know what you call them. You get a lot of royalty showing up, and they're all very obvious references. One's from Russia with those dolls, that like you open the doll and there's another smaller exact same doll inside, and you keep going, and there's like obviously a queen and a bunch of princesses that are like based off those dolls, so that's weird. We get King Hamburger, or like Hamburg or something, and he's like from the Bollywood kingdom, so America. The Queen of the Tajin Kingdom, that's the one I don't know. I have no idea where the hell she's from. That is not an obvious reference. I guess I shouldn't have said they're all obvious references, because this one isn't, at least not obvious to me. She's drinking wine, and she looks kind of like Queen Odahime, but, a little different, like dressed in more formal garb and with bigger tits. Oh, then we get the one that I'm like, wow, that was a little on the nose there. It's King Taco. King Taco, guys. And he's from the Chicano Kingdom. I had to go check, because I'm like, it can't really be the Chicano Kingdom, can it? It's the Chicano Kingdom, King Taco. Little on the nose there, but whatever, I'm rooting for King Taco. He's all about tacos. I love tacos. He also mentions this really cool quote, and it's probably from somewhere, I'm assuming, maybe something Hispanic related, but he says, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. And I'm like, all right, King Taco, I hope you get some lines in the Reverie. I'm down with King Taco. Tacos and badass quotes, all you, man. Then we get the arrival of the Ryuga Kingdom, King Neptune, Shirahoshi, Fukuboshi Mamboshi, and whatever Boshi I'm forgetting. I frequently forget one of the brothers, always. I can't do it. But so they're all here, and Garp is the one escorting them, which I think is awesome, especially because when you really think about it, not that the world government knows that, but Shirahoshi is an ancient fucking weapon. She is one of the strongest weapons in the entire world, and she has no way to defend herself other than calling Sea Kings, which she can't do on command yet. So having Garp, be the one that's like escorting them, that's good defense. Anyone else I would be like, not strong enough, not enough. What if Kaido came? We'd be screwed. I mean, they'd still be screwed if Kaido came, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if a Calamity came, I think Garp could be like, hold his own long to be like, get the fuck out of here. But again, doesn't matter because they're here now. Garp and Shirahoshi kind of like are bonding a little bit. She's calling him Luffy's grandfather. So obviously they've talked a little bit about what happened down on Fishman Island and whatnot. Garp's probably pretty proud, even though his grandson's a pirate. I'm sure he's proud of what he did. And Shirahoshi immediately points to a tree and goes, "Is that a forest?" And no, it is not Shirahoshi. Everyone is very stunned by how beautiful Shirahoshi is, because Hancock is supposed to be the most beautiful woman in the world, but they got all these rumors about Shirahoshi being more beautiful, and she was locked in a tower for so long, no one could freaking see her. So everyone's like, oh my god, the rumors are true, and not on top of that, she's huge, as Garp says. So it's like a little bit of both things, little column A, little column B, Big News Morgans is actually there, which I found weird. I thought he'd be scared to show his face around, the world government after he hyped the hell out of Luffy, but I guess not. Or like scared of Big Mom's agents. I don't know. I'd be just terrified of it if I was Morgan's, honestly. But he's all about the news, so he's there anyway, and he's had heart eyes and totally in love with Shirahoshi. Like someone was talking to him about like, should we print like a extra really quick, or whatever, and he was not listening. He was too smitten. Next we get what I think is the most interesting interaction in the entire chapter. It's Garp and Stelly, actually, which is weird. Weird that anything that is my favorite of a chapter involves Stelly. Weird. But Stelly's being a big dick, and he's just coming up. He's like, "Oh, wait, Garp, you're my subject because you're from my kingdom before you were a Marine, yada, yada, yada," being Stelly's big douchey self. And he's like trying to like figure out, he's like, "Can you put in a good word for me? I'm trying to become a celestial dragon," which I don't think is possible because you have to be from one of 19 families that formed the world government. It would be 20, but the Neferti family or Vivi's family, however you say their last name, like declined. So there's 19 families that like you could be from, but he's not from one of them. I don't think that's how it works. But if it is, then, I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe that'll be revealed in this arc. A little tidbit that we got is that Stelly is now the king, which we already knew, but how he became the king is he married this princess, and then suddenly, very suspiciously, the king and the prince who was next in line both died. So Stelly obviously conspired to have them murdered, or I was going to say murdered them himself, but no, he didn't. He's too much of a pussy for that. So he conspired to have them murdered by someone, and now he's the king, which is sketchy. Sketchy stuff. I don't like him being a king of anything. I don't even like him being a noble, so yeah, not good. And Morgan brings up an interesting point as well. He's talking about how many people have came from the Go Kingdom that have been so dangerous and so like high profile. Like dragons came from the Go Kingdom, Luffy came from the Go Kingdom, Sabo came from the Go Kingdom, Ace came from the Go Kingdom. He's like, it's like unprecedented. And then he's saying like the exception to this is Garp. Garp became a Marine, and I'm like, huh. You're right. I wonder what was different about that, or like what inspired Garp. It kind of piqued my interest. I hope we get like a good Garp flashback at some point where it explains what his motivations behind becoming a Marine and this hero of justice was. So when Stelly asks Garp about getting in good with the world nobles and whatnot, Garp is just like, oh, why would I give you a good word recommendation? It basically calls him a mongrel, and Stelly is taken aback. He's probably just not used to that at all. Like people usually don't talk to him like a fucking he's a piece of shit, even though he is, because he's the king and stupid noble systems in One Piece world. So he's taken aback, and Garp's like, oh, whoops, probably shouldn't have said that. Let's forget it. Like super casually, like as if he doesn't really give a shit. He's like, I probably just shouldn't be talking about shit about the world nobles and you. So yeah, let's forget you heard that. And Stelly's just baffled by all this, which is great to see. I like seeing his dumbass face be confused by this. So then Stelly is kind of used as a plot device to show, like to remind the reader, I guess I should say, about the racism that there is in the One Piece series. Neptune picks him up, and he's kind of like confused and whatnot. He looks back and he's like, oh my god, this guy is freaking huge. I thought he was a statue. And he's talking about how giants, like their saliva melts rocks, and they're these crazy, scary creatures. And then he notices all the other fishmen, how they have different colored skin, and how they have gills and stuff. He's like, oh my god, they have like a contractable disease that I just will get if I'm near them. He freaks out and runs away because he's a little bitch. But none of that is true at all. So it's weird to see that racism there, and you wonder how far spread that really is. Like how many people truly believe these things? The giants I can kind of get. They're huge, and that'd be kind of scary for any normal-sized person in the One Piece world. Normal-sized human, I guess I should say. But the fishmen, yeah, they have gills and shit, but they're perfectly nice people, dude. I don't know. Either way, hoping some of this racism gets cleared up in the Reverie arc, but something that tells me not gonna happen. So then the Ryugu Kingdom starts going up the gondola, or the gondola, I'm sorry, and we see this amazing picture of this view from the gondola and the seas, and they're up on the red line and whatnot. And Shirahoshi just thinks it's so beautiful, and she's like, I want everyone to see this. We need to live up here. And that's good motivation for her, because right now her driving force was just I don't want Luffy to call me a wimposhi or weakoshi or whatever anymore. So I'll go with you guys. I can't be a wimp. But now she has this new motivation, or it's a budding motivation of her being like, no, Neptune, you're right. We need to move all these people up here. Our people need to be with everyone else and the sun and blah, blah, blah. So that's cool to see. I hope that develops a little bit more. She becomes kind of more of a matured character, I guess. She stops crying so much and starts actually having some ideals and stuff. Kind of like Vivi. Vivi is a great example of what I want Shirahoshi to be more like. Not exactly, obviously, but more like her with motivations and taking her royal position seriously. Next scene. The next scene is at Marijoa, and it's between Fujitora and this silhouetted figure who turns out to be freaking Green Bull. oh, the hype is real. I wish they just showed a full face shot, but I'm assuming he's saving that for something more epic. Maybe his appearance ruins something about his powers, but I feel like a lot of us are guessing pretty accurately what it's going to be anyway. Anyway, let's just talk about the conversation. So Green Bull's talking about how Akainu ordered him to take Fujitora out of here, and he's like, but I'm not going to do that. Like, we probably shouldn't destroy everything, should we? Or maybe Fujitora is the last part, but like, if they fought, the place would be leveled, is basically what they're saying. And between two admirals, that makes a lot of sense, considering the last fight between admirals, like, permanently changed the environment of an island. It's crazy. But Ryu's like talking like kind of like disrespectful-ish towards Sakazuki. Like I thought he'd be like more in line with him, but he's not. At least what it seems. Like he seems like kind of laid back, kind of like ah ha ha, I'm not gonna do what he says. Fujitora tells Green Bull that he wants to destroy the Shichibukai system, the Seven Warlords, and he's saying that he went to go see Vegapunk, or he didn't actually meet him, but he went to go see him, and ended up just seeing like his work and like stuff, and he's like, his new technology could make the warlords obsolete, basically. Like, we don't need them anymore, and that is terrifying. What the hell did Vegapunk make? He was in the newspaper a couple of chapters ago, not very focused on, because it was all about Luffy and whatnot. Luffy was on the front page, but you could see in one of the chapters, there's like a little panel of, like, says, like, Vegapunk, and, there's also one about Weevil, but that's not relevant right now. So, we know Vegapunk's been making moves. He's been doing some good stuff here, and, wow, the ideas are endless, because Vegapunk is the smartest guy. Like, he can be making anything. It'd be like, I think it's probably most likely an upgrade to the pacifistas, but what that could be, I don't know. Like, I can make a whole nother video on that, honestly, but I'm sure a lot of YouTubers already have. Fujitora thanked Green Bull for the food. Not sure if that means he cooked it or he just, like, brought it out, or he's the one that ordered it. I don't know. But it's also revealed that Green Bull has been fasting for 3 years. Like, he didn't eat anything, and he's like, yeah, if there was a babe here to feed me, I guess I'd eat, but it's just so much trouble eating. It's kind of funny, but I think this gives credence to the thought that he has some sort of nature-related devil fruit, or I think it's like some kind of zoan that's like a Spriggan or like a fairy or something that like is related to nature, but also could classify under like a mythical zoan, because that just fits a lot. Because now we have a Logia Admiral, we have a Paramecia Admiral, and I think just round that with zoan, man. Come on, why not? But I think the reason that he can go on fasting for so long is because he's photosynthesizing all the nutrients he needs, like a plant. And that would just make a lot of sense. He just doesn't need to eat. He's like, whatever, the sun's shining, I'm good. Next, we have a few panels where we cut back to the Kamabaka Kingdom, and we see Bella Betty and Koala. So we know for a fact they are not going to the Reverie to do what everyone else is doing. At least those two. At least those two. There's also some people in the background, but we don't know any of them. So when we see them, Bella Betty's talking about how they're declaring war and stuff, and how like things are just gonna get chaotic, and Koala's like, whoa, hold on. We want to take out the celestial dragons, not the government as a whole, because if we take out the government as a whole, there'll be chaos and anarchy everywhere. Like, they have a problem with the ones at the very, very top. Like, I feel like there'll probably be some corruption and stuff that they're gonna try to deal with, and like other small things. They've already overthrown some kingdoms that were obviously corrupt and whatnot, and they brought people over to their side, but as a whole, they don't want to take out the entire government. So like the Marines and stuff, they want them to stay, just not with any shitheads in it, which means no Akainu. And we end the chapter on another Gondola. I think it's a different one, with Stelly and I think it's King Hamburger, and like Stelly's like being a little bitch, like, oh my god, the wind's blowing, we're gonna fall over, oh my, there was a giant in the wall, which there probably actually was. That was Morley, let's be real. He did see a giant in the wall, but he's still being a little pussy about everything. He's like just bitching and moaning, and no one really believes him. He's like because one, that's crazy, why there'd be a giant in the wall. Two, he's just scared of everything, so he must just be being scared. But we see that there's crows and stuff, and he's complaining that the crows are going to pop the bubbles. That's Karasu, has to be Karasu. But this guard kindly tells him, like, don't worry, crows don't pop the bubbles. That's never happened. And then he's like, it's all good, King Stelly. Lifts up the visor so we as the viewers can see it's freaking Sabo. Sabo is there as a guard, like pretending to be espionage shit. Oh my god, I'm so excited, guys. This is going to be amazing. And Morley's in the wall, so he's probably digging like a giant tunnel, maybe sideways so they can walk up it, all the way to Mary Jo, I'm assuming. And then maybe there'll be some forces that'll go in there. I thought it'd be like a really like quick thing, like, hey, we're declaring war, peace. Then they just like leave, but it's kind of shaping up. Like, if Morley's in there creating a tunnel, they could put like a decent fighting force in there. Maybe they could like free a bunch of the slaves, or take something valuable that they have at Mary Jo that like they don't have another opportunity to take or something. I don't know, but the possibilities are endless, and I'm really excited to see this arc really kickstart. Also, Dragon could be there because there's a strong wind blowing, as Stilly stated when he was bitching and moaning about stuff. But every time Dragon appears on the screen, there's always a strong wind blowing and whatnot, and I think it's related to his Devil Fruit power, which I and a lot of other people think is a wind logia, because we haven't seen one of those yet, and that's a really obvious element that needs to be like a logia. Come on, wind? It's a really overpowered one. It'd be a good fit for Dragon, and I think that's what he has, and I think that's why the wind is blowing so strong. And Dragon's around somewhere. Maybe he just is the air right now. I don't know. But yeah, so when everyone invades and whatnot, it's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait for the Reverie arc to continue. So far, every chapter of this arc has been amazing. I know there hasn't been many Reverie arc chapters yet, obviously, but they've all been 10 out of 10. Anyway, guys, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be reviewing, and should be more consistent going forward again. Back to how it was before, maybe a few days late or something, but I'll try to be as on time as I can. Especially with One Piece. One Piece specifically, I want that to be the main series for my channel because it's the series I love the most. So I'll try to be as close to on time as I can with these going forward. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video. And I could really use subscriptions. I haven't even hit 100 yet. I really want to hit 100. It would just feel good. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Anyway, guys, till next time, I'll see you.